Hey everyone, today, we're diving into the South China Sea, one of the world's most contested regions. We'll break down the 5 biggest risks facing the Philippines and China as we look toward 2026. This isn't just a distant geopolitical issue, it's a conflict with real consequences for global trade, security, and the lives of millions. The tension here is rising, with every diplomatic move and naval patrol adding to the uncertainty. Let's unpack the key flashpoints, what's at stake, and why the world should care. Let's get into it. The heart of the conflict is the territorial dispute. China's sweeping 9-line claim overlaps with the Philippines' internationally recognized exclusive economic zone. The 2016 Hague Tribunal ruled in favor of the Philippines, but China rejected the decision outright. For Filipino fishermen, this isn't just politics, it's about losing access to ancestral fishing grounds and livelihoods. On the other side, China sees its claims as a matter of historical right and national pride. Both sides are locked in, unwilling to compromise, fueling a cycle of confrontation. Each encounter, whether it's a fishing boat chased off or a Coast Guard standoff, risks spiraling out of control. Political leaders in both countries face intense pressure to stand firm, making de-escalation difficult. Chinese vessels routinely block Filipino supply missions, turning legal disputes into daily flashpoints. Rhetoric is escalating, with both sides trading accusations and hardening their positions. The lack of a clear code of conduct or direct communication channels makes misunderstandings more likely. Every incident is a potential spark in a region already on edge. Without a peaceful way to manage these claims, the risk of conflict remains dangerously high. This dispute is the root of all other risks in the South China Sea. It's a constant source of tension, with no resolution in sight. The question isn't if another incident will happen, but how both sides will respond when it does. The stakes are sovereignty, security, and the livelihoods of millions. Until there's a breakthrough, the region remains on a knife's edge. The world is watching, hoping for restraint. But the pressure is only building. The original sin of the conflict remains unresolved, and that's what makes this so dangerous. The second risk is the rapid military buildup. China has transformed reefs into military outposts, deploying warships, aircraft, and missiles across the South China Sea. The Philippines, outmatched, is modernizing its forces and deepening its alliance with the United States. Joint patrols and military exercises are becoming routine, raising the stakes. This arms race creates a classic security dilemma. Each side's buildup makes the other feel threatened, fueling further escalation. The sea is now crowded with warships, Coast Guard vessels, and maritime militia from multiple countries. The risk of an accident or miscalculation is ever present. A minor collision or aggressive maneuver could quickly spiral into a major crisis. U.S. freedom of navigation operations challenge China's claims, leading to tense standoffs. China sees these as provocations. The U.S. frames them as upholding international law. The human element is critical. Split-second decisions by young sailors can have global consequences. As we approach 2026, the military presence will only grow. The line between assertion and aggression is dangerously thin. The potential for inadvertent escalation is real and rising. Every new deployment increases the risk. The region is becoming one of the world's most militarized maritime zones. The stakes are high and the margin for error is shrinking. The buildup is not slowing down. The risk of conflict is no longer hypothetical. It's a daily reality for those on the front lines. The world holds its breath with every close encounter. The next incident could change everything. The third risk is economic. The South China Sea is a vital artery for global trade. Over a third of maritime commerce passes through these waters. For China, it's the lifeline for exports and energy imports. For the Philippines, it's essential for trade, fishing, and tourism. Any conflict or disruption would send shockwaves through the global economy. Even a minor skirmish could spike shipping costs, raise insurance premiums, and force ships to reroute. The Suez Canal blockage showed how fragile global supply chains are. A South China Sea crisis would be far worse. For China, control of these waters is about economic security and political stability. The Philippines faces immediate threats to its fishing industry and foreign investment. Instability scares off investors and tourists, stifling growth. The region's untapped oil and gas reserves remain locked away by political conflict. Joint exploration is nearly impossible amid constant harassment and disputes. The Reed Bank, rich in natural gas, could transform the Philippines' energy future, but Chinese interference keeps it off limits. The economic risks are not just regional, they're global. A conflict here would disrupt supply chains, cause shortages, and raise prices worldwide. The stakes are trillions of dollars and millions of jobs. The world's prosperity depends on peace in these waters. The economic fallout of conflict would be catastrophic. The risk is real, and the consequences would be felt everywhere. The South China Sea is not just a flashpoint, it's a global economic linchpin. Stability here is in everyone's interest. The fourth risk is environmental destruction. The South China Sea is a biodiversity hotspot, but the conflict is devastating its fragile ecosystems. China's island building buried thousands of acres of coral reefs under sand and concrete, an ecological catastrophe. These reefs are nurseries for fish that feed millions. Their destruction threatens food security across the region. Overfishing, driven by competition and lack of joint management, is pushing fish stocks to collapse. Massive subsidized fleets use destructive methods, scraping the seabed clean. It's a tragedy of the commons. Everyone races to fish before it's all gone. Giant clam harvesting has left scars visible from space, destroying reefs for short-term profit. The risk is that this damage becomes irreversible. Reefs and fish stocks may never recover. For the Philippines, a healthy sea is vital for food, livelihoods, and storm protection. Environmental collapse is a direct threat to coastal communities. Militarization adds pollution and increases the risk of spills and waste dumping. Environmental protection is sidelined by the sovereignty struggle. There's no effective regional body to enforce conservation. The slow death of the sea is quieter than military clashes, but its impact could be even more devastating. The South China Sea could become a marine desert within our lifetimes. This is a global loss, a jewel of biodiversity sacrificed to human conflict. The world risks losing a treasure for future generations. The environmental crisis is unfolding in silence. It's a risk we can't afford to ignore. The stakes are not just political, they're ecological and existential. The sea's survival hangs in the balance. The final risk is international involvement. The South China Sea is now a central arena for US-China strategic rivalry. For the Philippines, US support is a security lifeline, but it also risks entangling them in a superpower conflict. The Mutual Defense Treaty means a clash could draw in the United States. China sees US involvement as interference and a threat to its rise. Every US patrol or joint exercise is viewed as provocation, fueling nationalist sentiment in China. The dynamic is a dangerous triangle. The Philippines pushes back, China reacts, and the US doubles down. A single incident could escalate into a direct US-China confrontation. Other countries, Japan, Australia, the UK, France, are also increasing their presence, adding more actors and more risk. The region is crowded with navies, each with its own agenda and red lines. The risk of miscalculation grows with every new player. The conflict is no longer just about islands. It's about the future of the global order. Is it rule of law or rule by power? For the Philippines, international support is both a shield and a potential trap. For China, it's a justification for further militarization. For the world, it's a potential global flashpoint. The stakes are enormous, and the consequences could be catastrophic. The South China Sea is where great power competition meets local realities. The risk of escalation is real and rising. The world cannot afford to look away. The South China Sea is a perfect storm of risk. Territorial disputes, military buildup, economic stakes, environmental loss, and global power rivalry. Each risk is serious on its own. Together they threaten regional and global stability. The path forward demands diplomacy, restraint, and international cooperation. For millions, the stakes are immediate and personal. For the world, it's a test of our ability to manage conflict and uphold a rules-based order. The story isn't over. What happens next matters to us all. Stay informed, stay engaged, and advocate for peaceful solutions. Thanks for watching.